Alright guys, welcome to another Tuesday afternoon video looking for the common bootcamp problems, and we've got Sky with us today. So today's going to be a bit of a Q&A, sort of introducing Sky as well. So if you've got questions, some stuff that might come up at your boot camps or whatever, common questions from your clients, don't hesitate to pop them in the comments there, and then we'll try and get to them now. If not, we'll try and get to them after in the comments section. So just a bit of an introduction. Sky here is a nutritionist.
Yes,
good.
Excellent.
So Sky's come on board and we're working together to put a few things together and stuff like that. And we're going to go through a few things that can help you with your boot camps along the lines of nutrition. We're just going to give you a bit of a background on even the three of us, because it's all, maybe it's a little bit interesting for some people, maybe not, I don't know.
Soon find out.
We'll soon find out. So for my side of the story is I'd been traveling and all that sort of stuff before I came back and got into the fitness industry, and I turned up for a job at a local gym, and sitting in at the gym, and there's Jono, and Jono and myself actually played footy together as kids. So we played.
I was better, by the way, as well.
Yes, back in the under 12s, I think it was. So we actually played footy together as kids, and so we're there, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I think I was training at the gym first, and Jono was there, and chatting. Job came up, so I went for the interview. Anyway, so I turn up for the interview, and sitting next to me at the interview is Sky. So Sky is there, and she's like, Travis, how are you? This is true story. I'm like, yeah, hi.
Good, thanks.
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. And so it turned out, it doesn't turn out.
So
it was true. Sky and I actually went to high school together, and so we went to high school together.
Like 4 to 5 years
4 to
or
5
something
years.
like that. Yeah, it's fine.
My memory, not the greatest of memory, but the point is, Sky and I were both sitting there for the job interview at this gym, which I think was basically you leaving. I don't think we ever worked together.
Probably was.
It was so basically the job interview that we went in for was Jono's leaving to go full time on the boot camp.
Yeah.
So Jono had been at the gym for how long were you at the gym full time? Gym floor, sort of
maybe 5 years.
5 years, and then so he left to do his full time boot camp, and
he was still working casually. I remember because we did have a few shifts together.
I tried to avoid you, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, you're working with me.
Didn't want to get shown up.
Yes.
So that's sort of our sort of story. John and I played footy together. Sky and myself went to high school together. All worked at the gym together, and then we've all sort of gone. We've worked with Jono in the boot camp for a long time.
Who got my spot out of you two?
Both of us, actually. They hired both of us. Yeah, it took two people to make up one Jono.
It took two of us to replace Jono, basically. But so that's the story of us. That's sort of the introduction of how we've sort of fit together and how it works. So again, if you don't mind that story, I'm getting told to prompt hit like and let us know what you think. And so Jono, what sort of stuff are we going to cover with Sky today?
All right. So what we'll do. Any questions so far, Brenda? No. Okay. Cool. What we might start with is just personal training and nutrition advice, because it's a super grey area, right? Like, comment below if you're a bit confused and you're like, I don't know what I can say, what I should say, what I'm allowed to say, blah, 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 blah. Let's start with that, Sky.
Yeah.
Let's start with take the nutritionist hat off, because you've also been a personal trainer as well.
Yes, that's it.
Well, we can sort of give
it's a bit of both.
Exactly. Yeah. So say there's a personal trainer watching this, they're running a boot camp. What's some good advice that they can give, or good things that they can do that are going to give their clients benefit nutrition-wise while they still stay in their scope of practice?
So look, I'll answer that in a second. I think it's a good idea. What Travis said, just to introduce myself a little bit, because I do wear many, but I do wear many hats, and so it gets confusing, when I'm talking, because I'm either talking from my nutritionist hat. I am an exercise specialist as well, and have some training in sports medicine and things like that, as well as a yoga teacher and instructor. I'm a chef, and there's about a million other things in there. So I do jump between talking as a trainer or talking as a nutritionist, so talking as both currently. Look, there's so much in scope that a personal trainer is actually allowed to do. I think the grey area comes from I guess just trainers out there are a bit unsure of what, what is in scope and then what's outside of scope. So the difference is a nutritionist is able to prescribe specific diets or ways of eating, macronutrients, supplementation, all those sorts of things is not a problem. That's what a nutritionist is for. Delving into disease management and treating particular conditions, including obesity and things like that, but then obviously more of a disease spectrum as well. A personal trainer, on the other hand, it's so much more relevant these days that trainers are actually able to give nutrition advice. It is in scope to be able to give a certain amount of nutrition advice as well. So things like teaching your clients how to understand food labels properly, what the different kind of food groups are, and what might be better options, so swapping some sort of bad food for another kind of food. So macronutrients, things along those lines.
I think something that as trainers we forget, and someone told me once when I was doing like my mentoring to become a trainer, they sort of said the clients quite often don't know what we know. We take for granted some of our knowledge, whether it be with exercise or whether it be with nutrition. I myself, I can tell you, I don't feel like I know a lot about nutrition at all. But then when you compare that to someone on the side of a participant or a client, my knowledge on nutrition could be tenfold theirs,
And there's so much, misconceptions and confusion and stuff like that out there. So the more we know as trainers, more empowered we are, and then we can share that knowledge with our clients. Because, there's obviously marketing and advertising and as we said, food labeling and things like that to kind of lead people astray, that fat makes us fat, when, in this day and age, we kind of have a better understanding of that fat isn't necessarily what's making us fat, but potentially it's the type of fat. And so, if there are products out there that are saying low fat and people are like, oh, okay, I should be eating that, maybe that's not actually the case. So just clearing up some of the things like that with clients, other topics can be things like eating on the go. If we eat a particular way, maybe ourselves as trainers, and we have to kind of turn our clients towards those things too. So maybe when we're out and we're like, oh, I've run out of time and I just need to grab some food of some kind, where would we go? We can tell our clients those sorts of things so that they go, oh, okay, maybe next time I'm out and on the run, here's something that I can eat that's well within healthy bounds.
So my takeaway on that is that it's good for trainers to have this knowledge, and there's so much you can do with that knowledge without meal plans. I feel that's a very grey area. Like as a trainer, I don't believe you should give someone a specific meal plan as a trainer. But those sort of things there where you can say, hey, options. Hey, look, here's how to read food labels. Here's what protein is, here's what fat is, here's what carbs is, blah, 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 blah. Now we empower the client. Now you guys can make your own sort of choice.
That's it.
And then same thing with the eating out. You're not saying, hey, you need to eat this thing here when you go out. You're saying, hey, here are some healthy options that I eat when I go out. You're now empowered. You can no longer say, exactly, you can no longer say, oh, I don't know how to read food labels. Or you can't say, oh, I don't know what to eat when I go out. Because as a trainer, you empower them to make those choices.
To be able to do it,
exactly. Without overstepping that line.
And even just simple things, I think, as well. Like, I always teach people that 4.2 grams of sugar is one teaspoon. All right. So if they're looking at foods and trying to pick between things and they're seeing that there's 16 grams of sugar in that product, then at least we know that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of, exactly,
product,
whatever it might be. So just simple tricks like that.
Awesome. Were there questions in that, did you say?
Yes, Cassandra asked, what's the best oil to cook with?
Best oil?
To cook with? Oh, gosh. Ooh, look.
We can probably get these on here.
Am I putting my chef hat on for this one? So it actually depends on what you're cooking and what temperature you're cooking with. So things like extra virgin olive oil is a really great oil that's out there, except it's not actually a cooking oil. So extra virgin olive oil is for like salad and things like that, more of a dressing style oil. Olive oil, you can cook with it, but it's at a low to medium heat, all right? Otherwise it starts to go rancid when the temperatures go too high. Okay. From there, we kind of step into some of the more saturated fat types thing. They like to cook at higher temperatures. So canola oils and any of those other types of oils along those lines. The big question, and maybe underlying in there, is coconut oil, the be-all end-all that we think it is. So the thing about coconut oil is, yes, it can be cooked at a really high temperature, so you can use it to, do a quick shallow fry of something along those lines, and that's not a problem because it doesn't lose its integrity by cooking it at a higher in temperature, whereas some of those other oils do in fact start going rancid and end up being carcinogenic in nature, to be honest. So yeah,
there you go. We've also got Marcus here, who's a vegan. Join Brenda's club over there.
Yep, I love vegan food as well.
Loving it. No meat, eggs, dairy, no stimulants like coffee. Oh, it says.
Okay, yes.
Or tea, no alcohol, high carb. What do you think? Is it the best thing? It's the best thing I've done.
Look, then I guess the answer to that is if it's the best thing that you've done,
good,
you've already, it's not a problem at all. There are definite benefits in a vegan way of eating. I think vegan gets a bad rap. People go, oh God, vegans, here we go. But that maybe comes more from the people, not the nutrition or the way of eating themselves. Again, each to their own.
Imagine being married to one.
I know, right?
So I myself, I'm a pescatarian. I'm a pescatarian for health reasons, so I ensure that I don't have lots of meat with saturated fats and things like that in it. I'm gluten-free, dairy-free. Do I think I need to force that upon everyone around me? No, not by any means. Big guys like you, more so Travis and John, need to have meat to feed the muscle, and that's fine. So if you found yourself that way of eating, obviously cutting out stimulants is going to be a really empowering thing. Then keep going with it, as long as you're not feeling any weird symptoms from being de-energized or iron deficient, things like that. Then big tick.
Things like getting blood tests and stuff for people
really
like that.
Important, absolutely. So to ensure that iron and B12 in particular, those two are still up nice and high.
Thanks, Marcus. That's good. What have we got? We've got a couple of other best oil. Where are we up? Where can we get vegan recipes?
That is a good question. Look all over the place. Do you want me to do the big upsell? So I actually have a recipe book myself. It's called the Holicious Whole Food Recipe Book. I will post something if you like. It's been free for the last month. I've actually just taken it down, but I'm more than happy to make it available to you guys. And it can be adapted. So there is meat recipes in there as well, but there are ticks and things like that: vegetarian, vegan, whatever your preference may be.
Can I put one thing with
absolutely,
that? So you to get that, you just have to like the video though.
Sorry, if I don't see, I'm not posting. That's it. But say especially Sky, she was amazing.
All right. Nothing else come through on our end here?
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right. So you'll be seeing a little bit of Sky throughout the next couple of bits with in the community.
Yes.
She'll be posting with a few bits and tips and tricks and stuff like that, some advice. All right. So you'll be hearing a little bit more from Sky down the track. Anything else to finish off on, Jono?
No, I've tagged Sky in this, so if you've got any questions, comment them below, and Sky will get to them in the next couple of days or whatnot anyway.
Yeah, no worries.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
Hit like, share, all sorts of stuff. Have a good day.